Hello, this is Sophie Lawson from sophielawson.com, and today we're going to start looking at the very first ever issues of the ImagineFX magazine. And I'm your host, Dave the Dragon. No, not really. Boing. Hello, this is Sophie Lawson from sophielawson.com, and today we're going to be looking at the first year's worth of ImagineFX magazines. So this is actually the first 12 issues from the year of 2006, if you can believe it, which is quite a long time ago, almost 20 years ago. So that means ImagineFX has been going for nearly 20 years, which I find quite amazing. So we're going to start with this one, which is issue number 1. So let's get into this then. So the first ever issue was issue number 1 for the month of February 2006. So a very, very long time ago. Now I believe these all have the CDs with them, because back in the old days they used to have CDs full of videos and things. I do miss those videos, but let's get into this then. Little David Dragon, he's going to help us. Boing! So that's the first one, the first ever cover. What do I think of this one? Beautiful colours, nice. I like that colour. It's like a sort of purpley grey, and it looks really nice with the gold as well. So I'm quite interested to see how this magazine has evolved. I wonder what it started out like. Let's go and have a look. That sound of but who's this then? Look. Kyoung-Min Cho. Kyoung-Min Cho. We've got little drawings here. So what I do on these is, who's this? Look. We've got an editor called Rob Carney. That's a bit weird, isn't it? I don't recognise any of these people. That's quite in. So I wonder when Claire joined the team then. Welcome to a new era of digital art. I wonder if they imagined that they would still be going. Like when they started this magazine, I wonder if they imagined that they'd still be going like nearly 20 years later. That's quite amazing, really. So I imagine that when it first started out, it was a lot more focused on fantasy. Whereas over the years it's gone more into sort of mixing fantasy, sci-fi, and also like anime and things, and also even traditional artwork. But I feel like when this started out it was focused very much on fantasy. I like that we've still got the FXPosé though. It's going to be interesting to see what sort of bits of the magazine are still part of the issues and what's been dropped. That's a nice one. This is another thing as well. It's interesting to look up some of these artists. Like if you see some artwork in here, you think, oh, I like that. You can go and have a look at the artist, and they should hopefully now have like 20 years worth of work. So you can also see how they've evolved and things. These are nice though. Oh, I love this one. I love that when you get a character with their sleeves right over their hands. That's very much like a Japanesey thing. She's cool as well. I like this artist here. Well, what's surprising me is it actually still feels like the same magazine. And like the layout is still very similar. I used to collect those little Japanese models. Dragon Con 2006. God, 2006, what was I doing back then? I think I was addicted to video games. I didn't even think about doing any drawing. I was like a completely different person back then. Brian Frod, I like him. This is where they've had the letters. Oh, events, I remember that. I feel like they've dropped this. This was something they used to do. Look, introductory office. 40% off, look. I mean, how could you say no to that? Artist Q&A. This is actually a part of the issues they've dropped for some reason. So normally you get these files on the DVD as well, or you used to. One of the questions: how do I get the most out of layers when colouring manga digitally? Is there a certain technique that artists use? Well, that's quite cool. So they actually add manga in it from the start. That's quite revealing. Hey look, Rising Star, Natalie Shau. See, it'll be interesting to look into this artist. The Art of Robert Chang. Cool. I love this one. He looks like a really cool... You know, sometimes you see someone and you think, I'd like them to be my friend. That's what he's like. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful shapes, isn't it? Good look, we've almost got like a straight line there. With a curve. She's done that, hasn't she? Look, and she's upset with herself because she's a monster, really. She looks beautiful, but she's actually a demon. I got that one. That's on the cover of one of the Ballistic Publishing books. Oh, is that him, is it? Cool. So he did that. Frank Frazetta, look. They started out with Frankie, an ImagineFX legend. Artist portfolio. Jian Joel. Oh, cool. Little like character things. What I'm going to do is, in about 13 weeks time, when I've finished this year's worth of ImagineFX magazines, I'm going to actually compare this issue, the physical one, with the digital one. Because I actually have this issue as a PDF file. Because they gave it away, I believe, with issue 100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the experience of ImagineFX with a physical issue versus a digital one. FXPosé, hey look, they've never done that before. FXPosé Pro. So whereas the FXPosé is like, I suppose you could call it student artists, they actually used to do professional artists as well. So I guess what they've done now is they've actually put everyone together or something. That's the DVD there, look. What have we got on it? Hey, Robert Chang's on it. The World of Kong. King Kong. Cool. Yeah, I like the pencil one. The only thing with that is, for me, it's a little bit stiff. There's not enough gesturiness to it. I feel like the pencil's got more life to it, which happens a lot. I like this character there, and I like the feeling of the relationship between these two characters. But look, do you think he's going to get caught out by that one? One sneaking up from behind. Go berserk in Photoshop. Johnny Dudler. What a cool name. Johnny Dudler. Well, I've got to say, I'm really impressed with this, considering it's the first issue, and I'm sure they were a bit sort of, you know, because the thing is, the more you do something, the better you get at it. But they came out of the blocks firing. Anatomy for Beginners. This will be a good one for an article on the podcast. And I like the fact we've got different shapes of physiques. Yeah, that's a cool one. Look, don't miss next issue. We will be focusing on individual body parts in greater detail. Looks like they're going to do a series of anatomy articles. Looks Jar Jar Binks, isn't it? Oh, I like that. Yay! How to draw manga. See, now this one isn't... for me, it feels very much like a... let's just say, and a bit more like a sort of Western style anime. But I like the the sort of colouring effect. Next month we've got Master Technique. Not sure. Looks a lot like a dark. He looks like I've seen somebody like him before. Like a video game or something. She's cool. Quite a sci-fi character. Oh cool, look, they got reviews. I wonder what they were reviewing. Painter 9.1. Project Dog Waffle. Does Studio. Mystical Lighting. That'd be interesting. Hey look, Whack 'em Into Ace 3. 300 quid that was when it came out. That uses the same pen as the 21UX. Hey, 21UX, look. That's what I've got. They gave it for 2,200 quid it was when it came out. That's mental. That's crazy. I couldn't imagine spending that. I like those books. Yeah, I've seen that. I've watched that. Hey, I love that film. Jason and the Argonauts. You know, it's like very sort of, it looks very sort of, what would you call the word? Amateurish, maybe you would say. But in a strange way, that makes it more scary. Because the way these, is stop motion or something, stop motion. But the way they move, it makes them, for me, more terrifying. Because they move sort of like a bit sort of, Appleseed, one of my all-time favourite animes. I love that anime. Yay, on the DVD, look. She's cool, she is. Oh look, we ended with a little comic book. Oh, they should do that again. Oh, I'd enjoy that. I think they should do that again. Each issue, they should feature a little comic book. I'd like that. Well, that was it. The very first issue of ImagineFX magazine, and like I said, I was very impressed with that because I didn't think I didn't expect it to be as high quality as that. The only thing I did notice was there wasn't a sketchbook section. There's sketches there, but they didn't have the sketches section, which is one of my favourite bits. I hope you enjoyed that. Next week we'll be looking at this one here, issue number 2. Hello.